center, I think, literary society. This means that we already had these institutions. Like if you go to Lamton Literary Center today, you will have books, you have references and everything. So just to encourage that we can drive this. It's a bit hurtful when I see, for instance, well, I don't have a child, so I can be hurt because I don't know what it feels like. But because I've met people who are Cameroonians who have children with Kenyan people. The children all speak Kiswahili, but they don't know anything from our own languages from our side. And this is because we have not yet reached that level where we've institutionalized our languages. But the good thing is that we're having these discussions. This means it is possible. There are so many ways now. TikTok, we have so many influencers now on TikTok producing so much content on Lamso, and these are all informal learning channels. There is even Lamso TV that is covering news as if they are doing, as if it's CNN, and they're doing it all in Lamso, like their graphics are exactly CNN level. So it's just for us to keep harnessing those things.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, please, a round of applause to Kellen. Thank you very much for bringing up this discussion. We have I'm going to move on to the second speaker. He's a youth in our midst, and he will be sharing a personal experience from a recent summer camp at St. Mary's International College and University Institute. As you can see, the banner of St. Mary's right there. They're one of our sponsors for this convention. So please, let's give them a big round of applause. So one of our children was privileged to attend a summer camp at St. Mary's, and he will be giving us a fresh perspective on the power of immersive learning and exchange program. So please, let's welcome Jaden Goran. Give him a big round of applause. How na clap like say una clap for me, so encourage the young shall grow. Anytime you clap small, you're clapping for me.
Hello everyone, my name is Igorajin Chila. I'm 16 years old and I was born and raised in Belgium. This summer I had the opportunity to go to St. Mary's summer camp in Budeka. So St. Mary's is a Cambridge accredited school that has an international program and a national program. So it has like an American system and a Cambridge system, and also a national program, so GCE, the General Certificate for Education, and also technical studies and commercial studies and industry. Uh, the founder of St. Mary's is Mr. Paul Adam, and he built it on the vision that he wanted to transform education, to create an environment that inspires creativity, strong character, and also academic excellence. His mission was to equip young students like me to become leaders who can think critically, that can impact the world in a positive way. So I learned about Siemens to my parents. My parents saw that the internet that there was summer camp that's happening in Cameroon, and they asked me that if I wanted to go there, and I said yes, because I thought it would be a good opportunity to meet people, to see my cousins because my cousins were going to go there, and just to go back to my roots to see the motherland where everybody comes from. And so I went there and I was really impressed with the infrastructure, and I felt at home even though I was far away from home. And I had classes in I had classes in the morning because I came in the morning, and I was impressed with the classroom because they had like a lot of technology like computers, projectors, and everything. And the classes themselves were actually really nice. We had STEM class, we had the maths, English, and the teachers were really nice. They explained the things well, and they explained if you didn't understand. And after that, we had sports activities. And in St. Mary's, they have five sports complexes. They have like a football pitch, they have a basketball court, two basketball courts, one indoors and one outdoors, and they have the volleyball pitch and the handball pitch. And so each day we do a different sport. And in the evening, we have like maybe like a cultural night or movie night where we go to like an amphitheater and they maybe put the movie, the cultural dance, something like that, and we'll be there. And I was really impressed with the sound equipment that they had because we had also arts. We play music, and the sound equipment was really, really, really well developed. And after that, we go to our dorms and we be put in like rooms of four, right? Four cupboards, four beds, and we had a common toilet. And so in the morning, you wake up at 7 a.m. Body master will shout, wake up. Everybody has to wake up at that time so that you go and take a bath. You come and you tell you, okay, you do this, you do this, you do this. After you clean, after 8 a.m., you have to go and eat breakfast. And you had food. And the food there was really nice, so exceptional. And we eat African dishes. I'm not to lie, here at home, I don't really eat too much. But since I was forced to eat there, I ate. And actually, it was really nice. And after that, what made the camping experience even better was the people. The people there were really nice. They were good people in general. So we talk, have conversations, and we see like the different cultures. They come from different places. Some people come from the US. Some people came from the UK and from Germany. And so we just come here and talk to Cameroon, and it was really nice to meet them. So honestly, I would recommend anybody to go to St. Mary's because it's really a good experience and a good way to go back to.
Jaden, I have a question for you. In what aspect would you say that attending the summer camp at St. Mary's has impacted your life?
So Simiri taught me discipline because it's a summer, so usually I sleep late. I wake up early, late, and so to wake up at 7 a.m. every morning and your alarm clock is the top master shouting is a bit difficult in the beginning, but after that I got used to it, and it taught me also respect because I saw that people really respected other people like a lot, and so honestly it was for me very good value.
Can you make a brief comparison of your school here in Belgium to St. Mary's?
I say that both of them have their own strengths, but St. Mary's they combine uh, high level of education with also like budding the community spirit because we see the same people every day and every time. It's not like when you go to school after that you come back you don't see them ever again. No, you go and you be there with them 24/7. And so you have to be used to with habits and everything. And so he told me to just sometimes bear with people that I don't really like, let's say, and it's like that.
So, Jaden has shared his experience at St. Mary's. This is it's a new thing in town because I see most people, most parents in the Western world are sending their children during holidays to St. Mary's, and I must tell you, the discipline is top notch. Education is something we need to promote, and I'm happy that they accepted to sponsor this convention. I don't know if anybody has questions, remarks, any. Yeah.
Right, Jaden, thank you so much for that eloquent presentation. First of all, I want to say thank you to your parents, who encouraged you to participate in this program. I haven't heard of it before, so I'm really, really impressed. This is something new. I don't know if there are any people here who are already aware of this, but I'll be speaking to you on a one-to-one because I think I would really want my daughter to experience this. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Any comments?
I also forgot to say that there will be university that will be opening next academic year, and so they already posted the video on YouTube where they put all of the studies that will be available. So
Okay. Any comments?
I'm gonna sit down, Jaden, but I appreciate everything. Your presentation was exceptional. You took it the way you presented. Anybody can take a lot from it. I had planned to send my children back at home, and I was always looking at it like punishment to them. But you presenting this, giving me the encouragement, and as Andy already said, I would also be talking to you one to one. I think it's something I would like my son to experience as well. Thank you very much for that special presentation.
I think the flyers, some of the flyers are on the table. You have their contact numbers. They have a Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube page. The contact numbers are very active. So please, if you are interested, you can contact Jaden or the parents to give you more information. Those of you who've been to Lourdes and Sacred Heart, St. Augustine, I think you've had a touch of boarding life, but this one is a step higher. So if you want your children to actually enjoy holidays in an educative way, and please don't hesitate to contact the numbers on the flyers. I have a hand up behind there.
Thank you, young man. But I appreciate and I congratulate you for going to Cameroon during that period. But what is a bit, I want us to understand the difference between when we have summer in Europe and when we have dry season in Cameroon. When you talk about the summer camp, when you talk about summer, we think about this period, which is August. So when you talk about summer in Cameroon, I don't know if it's
No,
the
it was
rainy
in
season
July.
or the dry.
It was
All
in
right.
July.
So July. So I'm just being humorous. It's just humor. So it means it's not a summer camp. It is a rainy season camp. Do you? So that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So let's try to differentiate between summer, dry season, rainy season, and winter. So let's just try to differentiate. When you say summer, I would think I'm sending my child during this period.
Yeah, but it's during this period.
It's summer here, but it's rainy season down there.
Okay.
All right.
I think the most important thing is that the children are going there during summer. So it's a summer camp for us. Please, let's give the applause. I don't know if you have hands up.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That was so beautiful. First of all, I just want to recommend your effort and talent. Marketing. You did a lot of marketing. I just want you to continue with that. I don't know your level where you are now, but I know talent where you are. Not everybody can sell information like this. Yeah, not everybody can easily sell good things like this. Thank you so much. And my question is, I first of all have to make a comment. You talked about challenges and tolerance. These are two things that made me think. And you don't live in Cameroon, you live here. How has that impacted your life here now, educational wise?
Mr. Mary's used to do chores every day, and me and Belgium and do chores every day, maybe once in a while. And so, Mr. Mary's taught me discipline. Like when my parents ask me to do something now, I don't grumble and do it. I just do it straight
I think we are sending them. Some of us are already very, very anxious.
You have a question?
Hi, Jenny. Yeah, I have a question for you. Is it is like because I see it's St. Mary's International College. Is it like you can also Cameroonians or the ones living in Tico can they enroll themselves to be in the school as an academic year, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. And the summer camp is also open to Cameroonians for everybody. It's not like it's an international something.
No,
It's
no,
only
no.
international. Okay. Uh, I missed something. Thank you.
Thank you. So here, let's give Jaden a big round of applause. So here are some 4 simple, very powerful lessons I learned from Jaden. Um, St. Mary's is more than a school, it's an experience that combines quality education, discipline, and community. Living and learning in a boarding environment builds independence, respect, and responsibility. Connecting to our roots through such institutions can be exciting, rewarding, and life changing. So, each and every one of us is called to look into opportunities like this to send our children to have a different experience. So thank you very much, Jaden. We hope that by next year we'll have many more people coming to give us testimonies. If it's just for the discipline part and the doing chores part, I think we will be happy. Please let's give them a big round of applause. Uh, maybe I should. I don't know, Yolanda. Would you like to say something? She's asking from what age?
Normally, I think it should be the normal school going age from 12 years old, and now they have a university as well. So, yeah.
But I have a question. What made you think of sending Jaden to Cameroon to a summer school?
Well, Jaden has been to Cameroon once, and that was in 2018. But I think he didn't have the full experience of living there in Cameroon. And I wanted him to connect with other children from different parts of the world. I wanted him to connect with his cousins and build a personal relationship with them. So what we did was we actually tried to talk to the parents of his cousins, make them register as well. Make Jaden comfortable. So that's how we came about deciding that Jaden should go back to Cameroon, have a full experience of what it takes like to live in a boarding school, and of course come back with those good habits of discipline, respect, and how to live in a community.
Thank you. Thank you, Yolanda.
So if I can just add to what Jaden's mom has said, I'm so proud of you as well. That was beautiful. Um, I heard about this summer camp last year, and if I'm not mistaken, I think it is the NAFTIs. One of the NAFTIs went to Cameroon last summer, and they took their children to that summer camp. And I remember the feedback was so positive because the kids, teenagers, they were buzzing. They were excited about the connections that they made with those who came from the US, other countries. You know, most of them saw kids as well who just bonded in a beautiful way. And whilst Jaden was talking, I was thinking about my niece, Prudence's daughter, Ayen. And I remember about, no, 4 years ago when we took Ayen to Cameroon, I think she was in year 6. And she was spending time with her cousins from Cameroon, and they wouldn't stop going on about life in boarding school. Yes, there are the challenges of bullies sometimes. You know, when you come to the first year, the older ones want you to do chores for them and stuff. But 90% of your life in boarding school is so fun. So much so that Ayen wanted to go to boarding school in Cameroon, but the crisis had started and she couldn't. And one thing I've also noticed, which is why I like that we're discussing this, when our kids out here, born and raised here, don't feel like they are connecting to, well, they are not by blood, but they are either British, German, Belgian, by nationality, right? There comes a point when they realize that even though you're British or even though you're Belgian or German, the German person might not consider you German enough. the Belgian will not consider you Belgian enough, or, or British enough. And then you need something to fall back on, which is this platform we're creating. And I always like encouraging parents. The only way you can make your kids not get lost in the system or frustrated when they are not accepted, because this is what they know. But when they reach a certain point and they're not accepted, what do they fall back on? It's either you're taking them to Cameroon regularly to spend time with the family, or organizing things like this that we're doing yearly, every convention, like every year we have a convention or a place for them to commute, or do what you've just done. That summer camp, I cannot emphasize enough how if you don't take your kids to Cameroon regularly, try even once. Encourage that perspective of asking your aunt, your sisters to also bring their kids, so that they don't feel like they're just making new friends. They also have their sisters, their cousins, their friends to bond with. So that's amazing. I just want to encourage it. If you've got family out here in Europe, and if you're a parent who doesn't take your kids to events like this one or to Cameroon, you need to start thinking, because the child at some point will get lost in this system. And those kids that we see, for example, in the UK, who get frustrated with the system, start doing drugs, fighting their parents. Even I've seen kids fighting their Cameroonian parents because they are lost. So let's encourage this. Thank you very much, Jaden. Welcome.
Thank you.
Hello. And hi, Jaden.
That's Jaden.
Okay, I just feel so proud about what you are sharing with your friends, people of your own age. And I stand here as a mother who sent all my kids, they went to Cameroon for secondary school. They will do primary school in the UK, they go and do secondary school in Cameroon, and then they continue with their advanced level and university studies here. And the time they started, there were very few children that were going to Cameroon at that time. When they came here, when they came to the UK, they had difficulties doing the subjects they wanted to do and the number of papers they wanted to do, because they thought that children coming from Africa, they were not good enough to be given those positions. But when Linyoy, when he went to do his advanced level and he performed so well, he set a bar, a standard, and children coming from Cameroon, they were easily admitted in that school. So again, I just want to call on the parents as well, because some of them they feel like when you send your child to Africa to study, you are punishing them. You are not punishing them. They come, even if they cannot speak the language, they will understand it. So that is a good thing. They know the difference. They have that discipline of doing things, and they do it on time. Unfortunately, they live with a mom, with an African mom. But yes, I will support Jaden, and I say that try it yourself, and we will have more testimonies. Thank you.
Thank you. I think about 4 people have mentioned it looks like sending your kids to Cameroon to study is like punishment. Jaden, from 1 to 100, how can you rate the way you liked, excuse me, the way you enjoyed Cameroon? 100 being the best and 1 being the least.
I'll give 100.
So sending your children to Cameroon to study is not punishment. It's just another experience. And and they are definitely going to like it. They will be disciplined, yes. I know most people don't like the part of discipline, but discipline comes with other enjoyment.
Thank you, Jenny. Following from what
Please.
Mameli said, I am also a parent who sent child back home just in this June. What I want to say is that we should be having these discussions with kids on time, so it doesn't come out as punishment. When we get to the stage where there's behavior problems and they're already struggling at home with you, and then you take that decision to send them home, they perceive it as punishment. And whatever they do there, in their mind, they're here because of it. Even though they're enjoying it, whenever they come home, my daughter is coming home every summer. But every time she goes, there's a negotiation going on, even though she loves it. And this was because I think we did that when things were working. It's unfortunate that she's still at the hotel. She's not here. I would have loved for her to give her own experience.
Thank you. We are hoping that more kids will give us experience. You will share their experience next time. So, you wanted to say something? Oh.
Thank you very much, Jaden. I think that was really good. We've got so many children here, and I feel that we just need to differentiate between what we're calling a punishment as well. I don't know about the law in UK, I mean, sorry, in Germany, Belgium, but in UK, it's something that children know their rights. And this is something that if we want to start preparing them to go back home, we need to involve them as well. It should be a joint decision with that child, preparing them emotionally. We all know about the recent case that happened where the child was sent back home and then came up and raised the issue and reported her parents. But I think let's be mindful that yes, we want the children to learn the culture, but let's also get them involved. It should be a 50-50 decision. Yes, I want to go. I want to see what is happening back there. So that's just what I want to point so that we don't be using the word of punishment or not. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ngoran. I don't want to go into
Good afternoon, everyone. Actually, I want to reiterate the fact that in St. Mary's, to the best of my knowledge, as I'm very close to the administration at least, there is no fear of violence, within the kids. There is absolutely no tolerance for violence. As you know, some of us who went to boarding school, you who are from York, Sacred Heart, you know how
the husband is Sacred Heart, the wife.
But in St. Mary, they are doing everything possible to stop that. And the way they are handling this is they have teachers who are like psychologists, kids who come to school, maybe they have these behavioral patterns that they bring from home. And they don't respect their parents in one way or the other. But when they are faced with a teacher or somebody, or for example, a clergyman talking to them about their patterns of behavior, they can change. So in St. Mary, they are doing this. And so they are helping a lot of kids. It's just 1 year, and kids who came in with problems went for holidays,
Improvement.
improved in their behavior. So please, you shouldn't have any fear as regards to that, please.
Okay. Thank you very much. We are going to move to the last speaker, please.
Hi guys. Firstly, I want to say thank you for your experience.
Sorry,
Jaden. Thank you for that. For someone that has never been to Cameroon, unfortunately, it's not easy to understand like the culture, unless like if I come to events like Banim and stuff, like getting to know other like youths the same age as me who have been to Cameroon. Unfortunately, due to the crisis, my parents were not comfortable with me and my siblings going to Cameroon just yet. So they have actually raised us in a way like I feel like discipline can be also depending on how the parent like structures their child and has boundaries and limits, like how to speak to elderly people with respect. It can be brought up in any environment. I don't feel like it's just when you go to Cameroon. Like there's boundaries and like how people are being brought up. And what I'm trying to say is basically that, do you feel like the only way
no,
like youths and younger children can be disciplined
no,
by being sent to Cameroon?
no.
Okay.
That's not what we are saying.
Okay. That's okay. That's what I want.
Thank you. That is a good point. That's not the idea here was to talk about a child's experience in St. Mary's and the feedback he has to provide to us. So it's not a one-sided discussion. Okay. So thank you. You want to say something? Okay, you can come in front. Okay, you were in Cameroon too. Oh, you have a question. Okay.
The children are getting very interesting.
I think the idea of going to Cameroon is not necessarily a bad idea. It's just that sometimes when children come back from Cameroon, if they're writing their GCSEs, they have to be pushed back a year because they're still not ready and the education isn't that good. So how would we combat issues like
Many of us are students to this one.
So who want to answer that?
It's a difficult one.
It's a difficult one, especially to the UK kids. I will not be able to answer it based on the question is when you come back and they have to push you 1 year behind. How do you, when you are not ready for for the exam? How will you handle that? Maybe UK people can answer that. I don't know the answer.
Hello, once more. Hello, I did not get your name. What's your name again? Okay. Right. I think it will just be like students here. If you are not performing very well, they may want you to repeat a class. I had the experience of my kids coming back from there, and they went straight to the high school, and they performed very well. They never pushed them back. They never repeated a class. The only with the first child that went to high school, what happened was that he wanted to do 5 subjects in the advanced level, and because they were not very sure because he was coming from Africa, they made him do 4 subjects. And by the end of first term, they were regretting why they did that. So with Sherry coming, the second child, to that very school, Queen Elizabeth College at Leicester, they admitted her straight away. There was no coming because they have already witnessed that the children coming from Africa, that they were performing very well, especially from Cameroon. So there is nothing like pushing a child back. If you are a good student, if you are a hardworking student, you will go to that class.
Don't they have
And another thing too that we have the advantage over is that our certificates are 1-to-1. When you come back from Cameroon, the certificates are compared to the certificates in the UK. So it's nothing less than you come and you go a class back or anything. So don't get worried about that. If you are a good student, you will go to the class where you are required to be.
Okay.
Also, I think we should also try not to get mixed up here because what Jaden was talking about was his experience at a summer camp in Cameroon and how enriching that was. If a parent decides that they want to send their child to study, in Cameroon, then it's up to the parent to make sure that they do their research, know how that is going to impact the child when the child comes back. But those are really two separate things. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we are going to move on to the next topic because I know these are interesting topics, but if we continue, then we will be stopped. So the next part of this, the third part of this program is a panel discussion, and we are diving into a topic that affects nearly every household in the modern world: screens. From smartphones, tablets, to TVs, laptops, screens are everywhere. And they are really changing how we live today, how we work, and especially how we connect to one another. But here, the big question we are exploring today: are screens helpful? I will also explain that our parents, experts will come in and wade into this topic and make us understand better how we should handle the screen as he takes his seat.
An announcement is because of logistic, yeah. So because of the cars packed there, so that people can have enough space.
Please let's give him a big round of applause now. Encourage the young shall grow and the young are growing.
I'm not the young one that is going, I'm already grown. Just an announcement, please. We have logistic problems concerning parking. We can arrange it if we harmonize. I would love to call 2 cars standing outside there because we have enough space behind. The cars are parked in front, that the other cars cannot come in. So the Belgian number 1 minus RTZ 803, and then the UK number LG16 0G0. Please, if these 2 people can come out, help us outside there, park the cars behind. We have space for 20 other cars. Please, let's coordinate, let's collaborate so we have space. That was my own presentation. Thank you.
A good one. Okay. I'm going to call on the second panelist, Rayan Mattison, please. Let's give him a big round of applause. When I don't tire, when you clap, I'll say you're clapping for me. Thank you. Hermine Sweven, please. Let's give her a big round of applause. And last but not the least is my boss and the overall director, Nfu Tata. Please let's give her a big round of applause. So we are going to get their own perspectives, and I'm expecting the parents, aunties, coaches, mothers, directors to give us their own perspective. I'm going to put the microphone here. But let me give it to you first. Hold on. So we are not going to make it a question and answer. We are going to ask them to share their thoughts about the topic, screen time. Is it beneficial or harmful to our families and to us? What's the balance? Let's listen to the first speaker. Forani Swiven, please.
Good for like keeping in touch with family, like calling and texting. Educational purposes, like getting information.
Can you hear him? Raise the voice, please.
Getting information from the internet is good. Planning and organization with planning trips, where you guys are going and all that. But, like negatives could be like getting distracted, like not talking to your parents, not really communicating that well. Always on your phones or like TV and all that.
Okay. Next speaker.
Hello, my name is Ryan Mattison. I think screens can be very helpful. I use ChatGPT personally every single day to learn a large multiple of stuff. However, I do think a large contingent of young people spend a lot of time on screens, and I think especially with the rise of movements like feminism, obviously traditionally men went to work. Now we also have mothers going to work. If our mothers and fathers are going to work and the kids are now left at home, obviously unsupervised, most of what they learn is probably on the screens. And there's a lot of good stuff that they may be exposed to, but there's also a lot of negative stuff, a lot of bad sides about the internet that we should be aware of. So overall, I think maybe screens can have a lot of benefits, but should also have a community of bad problems that we maybe shouldn't really expose to our children. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Angel, 17 from Barking County Island. Personally, I think it would be hypocritical for me to say that screens are positive or negative, as there's bad and good to everything in this life. So we'll start off by the positive. Obviously, as my brother said, connecting with people and calling people, like especially people back home, because we can't get on a flight every day and fly to Cameroon to go and talk to our brothers and sisters. So calling them, FaceTiming them, it's a way of keeping connected, because it's not every day that we go to Cameroon. So and we aren't going to stay like a long time without speaking to them. So I think that's definitely a positive for screens. Um, it can be a way of learning, like lots of people do. Homeschooling, which can really develop the child's skills, like improve their communication skills, and teach them loads of things like coding, IT, all those things can be learned online. Like as Helen was saying, ChatGPT, learning land, so that's very beneficial. As us here, it can be hard for us to know our home language because we're not in the setting where they're speaking it. But obviously there is negatives like people, the abuse of social media, the abuse of screens can really limit a child's ability to interact. Like for a child to, like for me to be able to sit here and talk to all you guys, and that's a communication skill, a social skill that we all need to know for this life because at the end of the day, we are present in the physical world, not on the online world. That's we live in the physical world. So I think that's definitely a skill that cannot be learned online or through screens. You have to come here and interact with people, learn how to talk to people. Body language is a big thing. That's something you learn in the present. You don't learn it online.
Um, um, Too much of the screen can be very, very dangerous, can be very, very harmful. And looking at the world today, many of us are spending 12 hours on phone, tablets, TVs, and it's something that is getting scary. And we see that there are youths in our community or in the world today, even in spite all of this around, they still look for a way to stay focused. It can be very challenging. And this is why today I invite one of our youths in this community, or not you, I mean, one of our sisters in this community, our daughter, our friend, who has been able to stay focused in the midst of all of this. So I want her to share her experience and to help give some direction to our youths. And that's why I hand over the floor to you, Niyu. Maybe you should tell them a little bit about your story and then why I am calling you to do this talk. Thank you.
Okay, hello everyone. I'm new and
Stand. You can stand up, huh? Come in front. In front.
presentation mode.
Activated.
Okay, hello everyone. I'm new and I'm from Gomyang, Germany. Gomyang, oh yeah. Okay, so well, you want me to start from telling me why? Okay, I was I was about to say I'm a student. But actually,
How good.
I just graduated. I'm ready some thank you. And it has been a journey, especially working with, I mean, as my fellow panelists have spoken about screens, you have all social media, you also have, I mean, YouTube to learn podcasts, and also how do you balance both of them? So I'll start by let's first start by differentiating between screen time. I would say productive screen time and wasted screen time. An example productive screen time could be maybe like watching YouTube, a podcast, YouTube that can maybe help in your studies or maybe in your research, or watching a math video, a video on YouTube for maths, anything. That's our class that classified as productive screen time. Now, wasted screen time, and I would say social media, though I might get in trouble with some youth here because they would say learning dancing lessons on TikTok is productive. But for now, let's keep it as wasted screen time. So how do you balance both of it? The first thing I would say is be self-aware. How much time are you spending on TikTok, on Instagram? Because these videos, short clips are 30 seconds, but can take like an hour of just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. So be self-aware. Second thing, discipline. Jaden spoke about discipline some few minutes ago and was also speaking about discipline, self-discipline. That's the second thing I would say. It's very important because no matter whatever thing I'm going to say here, and if you're not self-aware to recognize that you're spending that much time on wasted screen time, it might not make sense. Or no matter how much I say or whatever you hear, if you're not disciplined enough, self-disciplined enough to put those measures, it might not really help you. So discipline, self-awareness, and discipline. So those are the two things, one of the two things that helped me. And yeah, and I would say this is when I might also get in trouble with some youth here. Social media. I'm always asked, what type of social media do I have? I say WhatsApp. They laugh at me. I don't have any Instagram, any Snapchat, any TikTok. I'm on WhatsApp. Well, sometimes I say YouTube shorts. I'm on YouTube and my siblings will laugh at me. That's no social media. That where do I get the news from? I'm like, mm, I might get in trouble here again. But it's those measures. It's not like I'm not trying. Because the time I had not TikTok or Twitter when Twitter was still Twitter, not X. I had Twitter, and I said, let me explore and see. Let me see what's happening in Twitter. And for a time, I discovered I got hooked up. Notifications. My phone will make ping, and I'll like, have my post been retweeted? Has it been liked? And I get so nervous. I'm like, when I posted, it's not liked. Oh, maybe I did something wrong. Like maybe I said the wrong thing. Maybe I didn't say the right thing, like how what they are supposed to say, the right thing, the wrong thing in quotes. All this is in quotes. And at some point also where I'm spending a lot of time on Twitter on my phone, I said I'm going to delete the app. I deleted the app on my phone. I uninstalled the app. I didn't delete my account. So I'll go and I'm studying and I'm on my laptop. I'm like, oh, the post I tweeted. Oh, was it retweeted? Was it live? Let me check on my laptop. So I'm like, I've said, let me study, and I'm like, let me take a break and go to Twitter. And when I take a break, go to Twitter to study again, I see myself wanting to come back again. Whatever it was just so too much, and I felt like I was so anxious because I want. At some point, I felt like I was deviating from my values because I wanted to follow what the people were writing and doing on Twitter. And because of that, I decided to delete the app, delete my account. That's what I did because no matter the uninstalling and the closing of websites of the browser, I decided to just uninstall it, delete my account, and since then, yeah, non Twitter. I mean, this is what I speak about: self awareness and self discipline, right? And also, even though WhatsApp as well, it's also distracting because personally with me, with my phone, I switch off my notifications, so I don't hear the ding 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 sound because whatever the case, I'm going to get to my phone. It's not as if but when I get the ding sound, I want to turn. Even if I don't want to turn, like I'll do it later. But whatever I can do, I can't concentrate because I'm like, maybe my message have been answered. Maybe there's something that's going on. Maybe. So I put my notification sound off. I mean, it's not like in, you can put the notification sounds off and you can still have your ringtone. So it's not like my phone is always silent all the time. Anyway, so what have I spoken about? So speaking about WhatsApp notification signs. Now the next method I used was the Pomodoro technique. So what's this technique? So it's like Play Store or Apple Store. I don't know what they call it. So this Pomodoro technique, what happens is with the app, or you can use it on your browser, web browser. With the app, you allocate a particular time. Let's say 30 minutes. You're going to take 30 minutes and study. 30 minutes watch an educative podcast or whatever. 30 minutes you're going to use it productively. So with it, when I put on this app, I kind of block all calls for 30 minutes. And you set that time, you block your phone. And you're just left with you. Sometimes I'm still tempted to take my phone again. Like 30 minutes, I'm like, I'll take this 30 minutes and I'll do whatever I'm doing on the computer. Let's say for now I'm working, so I'll take 30 minutes for, and I'll work on this stuff, this presentation. So as I'm working, of course, notifications are coming. I am not getting the notifications because the app has blocked it. The good thing is that at least with the app, you can still have to work on it. Sit there and work on it. And sometimes we pretty much help me so much, this technique. And of course, after the 30 minutes, for example, if you take 30 minutes, you can put the time with the window for you to rest. The rest could be maybe 15 minutes. Take a walk, play basketball for the young people, the young guys, all. And for the girls, I don't know what you do with 30 minutes gossip. 15 minutes gossip, it's too small, right? Oh, yeah, you go on social media, but be careful with the TikTok video, the scrolling, because 30 minutes, 30 seconds per video is easily goes so fast. And if you're not, if you notice, or if you're not careful, you'll be like, let me compensate myself for studying a little bit for 30 minutes, and you compensate yourself 2 hours long. So that's pretty much been my experience, and just added some tips that I have. If you've not understood anything here, the most important thing I want to say is two: self-discipline and self-awareness.
Self-discipline, self-discipline, and self-awareness. I've known you as a very focused person, and looking at her development, I see her even in the midst of all of this, her achievement in a very short period of time is commendable. And that's why I told her to come and share the things that she does that help to keep her focused. So the floor is open. Aunties, uncle, coaches, what do you have to say about screen time? If you are the owner of a white Mercedes MD16WHL, please remove your car or park it correctly. If you are the owner of a Kia YF17YUW, please make sure you remove your car from where it's
Standing here. Should I jump over?
No, no, no.
Okay. Thank you first for speaking. I was sitting there, I was listening very carefully. Just to say, I'm near to graduating psychology student. Everything regarding screen time and the human psyche interests me a lot. But I find myself that when we talk upon these topics, a lot of things are missing. Because you can talk about self-discipline and self-awareness, which I think are crucial. You cannot oversee them. But you cannot overlook the context in which we're living. Let me see here. I think everybody here was born in Cameroon, no? I mean, most of the adults sitting here. How do you grow up? It's community. A screen, abandon the screen. There's no time for screen. You wake up, you eat breakfast, you go into the bush, you come back for dinner. There's time for screen. There's no time for screen. To the farm. or you help. There's time for screen. There's no time for screen. To the farm, or you help your mother. You come. Screen is new for everybody, whether you came from Cameroon or not. So you parents, you are being challenged to learn your child to work with something you haven't taught yourself. You haven't learned yourself. This is difficulty number one, I think. Because how will you guide your child which you have not been guided in? This is a challenge for parents, I think, and I honor you for living in that challenge. I think number two is, I think often when I speak for my dad, he was longing for this community in London and Belgium. It was a struggle. He sacrificed a lot of things. He had to leave his youth friends in Cameroon or in Germany. He was left alone in some way. I felt this as a child as well, that my dad was trying to raise me the communal way in an individualized society. Then, what is my way of coping? I go to the screen. You see, if you have parents who are used to be playing outside all the time, to have friends as this main basis, your core, with your child, it doesn't. You see, parents go play outside. The only thing we see is concrete and roads. If you want to go outside, they say no, it's dangerous. If you want to meet friends, they have to say, wait, I'll call. Eh, You see, where's the spontaneity in this? You would go out, you would rely your friends are outside. If they're not outside, you think they were dead. Yeah, and I think this is important. That's what I mean with context. I think I'm a person who is engaging in this process of self-discipline. But I felt that something was missing, and then I started looking at my context, and I felt, yeah, I'm missing friends. I'm missing the spontaneity of having neighbors who just come outside in a spontaneous way. You need to